The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, starts now.
Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, I'm Sabrina Brown. Thank you for joining us. Topping the news tonight, a local business owner is warning the public about a disturbing situation that has left her with a hefty power bill and many unanswered questions. Perplexed as to how it could have taken place, she's calling for those involved to be brought to justice. Co-owner of Hot Shots, Erica Dean, says they recently discovered that another establishment in the business complex in the Regent Center West was stealing power from the photo shop. She says she immediately reported the matter.
Grand Bahama Power dragged their feet in coming to deal with the situation. Therefore, I had to bring in someone to deal with the situation for me. When the electrician went in the meter room, it was discovered that wires were hooked up to mine with someone else's on their meter box, jumping power.
Dean says she was alerted to the situation when she noticed that her monthly bill, which is usually around $500, tripled over the past several months.
When I got my bill out of the post on Friday, my bill skyrocketed very high. And I normally read my meter on a monthly basis, so I know my usage. Therefore, I know something was drastically wrong. I went directly to Freeport Power and I told them something has to be wrong because my normal demand for power is 4 and my demand now went sky high to 11. My usage in kilowatts is normally 900 to 1,000 plus the most, and now it's went straight to 3,009.
She says when technicians from the power company arrived, the wires had been removed from Hot Shot's meter box. She believes this matter should not be taken lightly, and she adds that she's disappointed with the slow response from Grand Bahama Power.
When it comes to customer service, they don't give you service. If it was that I was behind in my bill or my power needed to be turned off, they would be here quickly to turn it off, or they would do their own investigation, actually even taking out your own power, taking out the meter box. But when it comes to me making a complaint, it's a problem, and they drag their feet. And the only reason they actually came here yesterday is because when I made my discovery, I went straight to the police station, and the police station actually called Freeport Power to come here.
This small business owner says the company is now left to pay a hefty power bill for electricity they did not consume during these tough economic times. She says they are willing to take measures to ensure that justice is served. Now, Acting Director of Resource Management and Stakeholder Relations at the Grand Bahama Power Company, Filcher Grant Farquharson, told ZNS News that Grand Bahama Power takes matters involving theft seriously. She says they are working with police and it is a priority to investigate each and every report of theft levied by consumers. In other news, they were counting ballots well into the evening at the Grand Bahama Taxi Union building. Elections were held yesterday, and taxi drivers turned out to vote for the candidates of their choice. Incumbent David Jones was returned as president, beating out his opponent Rodney Forbes Jr. by a vote of 137 to 102.
God be all the glory. I must say this was the highest voter turnout ever. So the members really wanted to see change in their organization. I think they elected persons who are capable of moving the union forward. And again, we want to thank all the members. In spite of a hard-fought victory, I think we're going to do pretty well this year. And I have a good executive team behind me. Again, we have to reach out to some other members that are disgruntled. We will work extremely hard so we can move this organization forward.
Harold Curry is the first vice president, Ulitha Strawn the second vice president, Clement Pinder is the transportation director, Edric Russell is the treasurer, and will be assisted by Linda Williams. The general secretary is Joyce Thomas. Shirley Hall is the assistant general secretary. The trustees are Elisha Wood, Livingston Butler, and Arlington Allen. Bahamas Striping has its eyes set on establishing a manufacturing plant here on Grand Bahama. The leading specialist road marking company in the Bahamas is looking to invest $750,000 in the facility that they hope to build in West Grand Bahama. President Atario Mitchell says they hope to manufacture several products, including a cold patch. Bahamas Striping is currently working on a project in the Seahorse Shopping Plaza, and he says he hopes this 100% Bahamian-owned company becomes a permanent fixture on Grand Bahama.
We're fixing all the cracks, all the potholes and so forth with environmentally friendly coal patch. This is a product that we intend to manufacture here in Freeport, actually, and in the western part of Grand Bahama. We planned on putting up a manufacturing plant where we will be able to manufacture and ship out the products throughout the Bahamas and throughout the Caribbean.
Mitchell says he believes Grand Bahama offers a number of advantages that should make a manufacturing plant a success. Bahamas Striping is currently searching for land in West Grand Bahama to set up that plant that could provide jobs for close to 20 people. Mitchell says work could begin by June of next year.
Decided to bring the plant here for one because the government will give an exemption on duties for persons to do business outside of the Freeport area. So that's one of the components. Also, when you look at the container port have a reach not just in the Caribbean but globally. So that's the next component that we saw was a good fit to actually having the plant here in Freeport. The family islands and throughout the whole Bahamas uses coal patch. The government actually imports it. So if we could have a local firm here that is manufacturing it, creating local jobs, to me that would be a good plus for the government as well. But also this, like I say, our intent is to supply this coal patch throughout the Caribbean.
The Bahamas Junkanoo Carnival Commission pitching a strong educational campaign to make the country more aware of the international event planned for May of next year. Tonight, Chairman of the Commission as well as ministers of the government are sharing some of the features of the carnival concept that is expected to generate big tourism dollars for the country. Shashina Roll has the story.
Bahamas Carnival 2015 is fastly approaching, and $10 million is being spent to ensure that this first extravaganza is filled with entertainment and a burst of Bahamian culture. While the main event will be taking place in New Providence, Chairman of the Bahamas Carnival Commission, Paul Major, urged Junkanoo leaders here on Grand Bahama to get involved.
It's about making a direct investment in culture and the people that are in the arts and culture, be it Junkanoo, be it the performing arts, be it the visual arts, be it cuisine, be it anything and everything that you do that could make money in and around culture.
Minister for Youth, Sports and Culture, Danny Johnson, says this parade is all about cultural sustainability.
We know what we have in the Bahamas. We know what we had years ago. It's bandished about a lot. People are talking about, the nightclubs you used to have, the scenarios you had in art and culture. We also have to be honest with ourselves. We've lost ground. We have to also be honest with ourselves. The generation of the Ronnie Butlers, Conk Bernardinos, they've done their work, King Eric, and they're moving on. And the question for fellows of my generation is, well, how do we replace them? And how do we keep what we have at least, but even improve on it in the 21st century?
The nation's leader is the visionary behind the Bahamas Carnival, and Johnson says he believes the Bahamas will do it bigger and better than any other country.
Because he went down to Trinidad and challenged the Trinidadians and say, boy, we coming. And then I went there like 2 months later, and boy, they wanted to fight. But it is that everywhere in the world, the cultural showcase, a national cultural showcase, attracts now worldwide attention. And for us in the Bahamas, we have not been able to place our art and culture on the world scene in a consistent way.
The Minister for Tourism, the Honorable Obi Wolshcombe, is also excited about the future of this four-day parade. He says it is all about creating economic opportunity.
This is a carnival that is aimed at generating new ideas, new opportunities, opening new doors for all Bahamians. And so here in Grand Bahama, we can't get left out. We can't believe that the event is happening in the capital and we're not going to be a part of it. Well, we have to be a part of it. Our committee here in Grand Bahama, or those persons who will be responsible in Grand Bahama, must begin to think about the things we can do. Look at the wonderful event staged by tourism in Goombay. Look at the thousands of people who come to Goombay each summer. Well, just imagine if you stage a series of events beginning in November or December or January, leading to May. Just think about the pre-events that lead to Carnival.
Shashina Roll, ZNS Network News.
Stay with us. There's more news after this.
Bringing news that matters to you. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition.
Welcome back. 18 interns at the Grand Lucayan Resort received their certificates of completion from the National Training Agency this morning. The interns were cross-trained in various roles at the hotel, from front desk duties to housekeeping, culinary arts, and more. Grand Lucayan's General Manager Benjamin Davis gave a word of advice to the interns as they prepare themselves for the hospitality industry.
You should put in as many hours as you can to achieve the job. Learn as much as you can, educate yourself in your profession, do online classes. It is all part of building your portfolio and you becoming marketable.
Of the 18 interns who completed the rigorous 10-week program, 2 of them were offered positions at the Grand Lucayan. 20-year-old Alverston Roll says he had no idea that he would be given a full-time front desk position as a result of the training program.
And not everyone would get the job from it, but it enlightens your skills, and also it opens doors to opportunity, because I never came here expecting to get a job from here. I never did. Because at one point where I know unemployment was high over here, I was talking to my spy from them about switching to Nassau to try and get a job over there, seeing as how Bahama getting ready to open. But God had it where I had to stay here, so very grateful for it.
At the beginning of the year, the National Training Agency prepared 300 people for the Memories Grand Bahama Resort opening, and the NTA is looking forward to partnering with more local businesses. Despite Grand Bahama's tight economy, many parents have made the decision to keep their children in private schools. Tonight, the principal of Sunland Baptist Academy says enrollment is steady and academically students continue to excel. Shashina Roll reports.
It's back to the daily routine of hand-raising, answering questions, and lots of studying for students. Principal of Sunland Baptist Academy, Merton King, says enrollment is steady for the 2014-2015 academic school year. She boasts of the results from the national exams, adding that the teachers and students' hard work paid off.
We believe we are the number one. We were pleased with our BGCSE and BJC results. Just to give you a briefing, we have had 100% passes in many of our subject areas. At the BGCSE level, we had like 11 A's in math, and basically from our second group of students, and we've had 9 A's in physics, and we don't have like large classes, so I think 9 is A's. It's pretty good. And then at the BJC level, we had 46 A's in math.
While there are still a few seats available, she says there is a maximum of 25 students in every class in the lower school and 28 in the high school. With a small class size, King believes teachers have the ability to focus on each child's individual needs. She is predicting that the year ahead will be an exciting one.
This year we have additional help in administration. I'm pleased that Ms. Cheryl Wood is now our new vice principal. Last year we didn't have a new vice principal, so we are excited about working with her and hearing what new ideas that she would bring along. We welcome that as well.
Just this past Tuesday, veteran educator Cheryl Wood was appointed vice principal. Wood joined the Sunland Baptist Academy family last year.
One of the things that I really was pleasantly surprised to see was the number of children who were performing 2 or more grade levels above their chronological age. And when you see something like that happening at a school, you know, number one, that you're working with children who are gifted and talented, and number two, you know, you're also working in an environment where teachers are nurturing students and getting the best out of them.
As students get back into their usual school routine, it will take lots of hard work and dedication to get to the top of the class. Head boy Christian Mori and head girl Zay Moss say they are ready for that challenge.
I feel confident and a bit nervous. I hope to finish out strong. I've maintained a 4.0 GPA in all of my years from 10 to 12, and now I just want to stay on top of all my classes and finish out this year really strong.
I'm just trying to stay as focused as possible, get good marks on my BGCSEs, and graduate school with excellent marks in the classroom and all that stuff.
Once you graduate, what do you plan to do?
Well, I want to go off to college and study forensic science. That's the goal.
Shashina Roll, ZNS Network News.
A local financial institution is placing emphasis on education through its annual scholarship program. The Grand Bahama Cooperative Credit Union gave financial assistance to 4 deserving high school and college students who maintain a 3.0 grade point average or higher. The students and their parents were presented with checks during a special ceremony yesterday. Chairman of the board at the credit union, Kaylisa Simmons.
The Grand Bahama Cooperative Credit Union is also cognizant of our social responsibility. We know that we would like to leave the movement, in fact, this credit union, in good hands. And the way to make that happen is to ensure that we participate in educating our young people so that they understand what it means to be responsible citizens, what it is to deal with their finances. Many of you indicated in your essays that you understand the financial implications of today's economy.
The recipients are Raquel Burrows of the Bishop Michael Eldon High School, Donique Wiley of Mary Star of the Sea Catholic Academy, Justin Sapp of College of the Bahamas, and Pedidra Baloo of Miami-Dade College. The parents of those students are grateful for the assistance.
On behalf of my son, Justin Sapp, thank you to the Grand Bahama Cooperative Credit Union for recognizing him for this award.
I'm really grateful for this gesture because it'll help my daughter along with her education, and she's enthusiastic about learning at Bishop Michael Eldon. So I would say thank you.
I want to say thank you very much. You know, this will help her a very long way, especially her books.
I would like to thank the Grand Bahama Cooperative Credit Union for this generous donation to help Donnie towards the school fee.
The teachers of the 8 Mile Rock High School getting a lesson in health care just in time for the new school year. The educators met in a seminar that they hope will help them identify site issues among the students. Natalie Martinborough reports.
The Ash Eye Institute is on a campaign to teach the importance of sight screening among the youth. Just days before the start of the new school term, Dr. Duranda Ash took time out to hold an educational seminar with teachers of the 8 Mile Rock High School. The topic, caring for the eyes. Dr. Ash says by reaching out to teachers, she hopes some of the sight challenges among the youth could be identified early.
Many times it's back to school and everybody's excited about the uniforms, the new shoes, and everything else. But what about the child's eyes? In order to learn well, in order to see, to learn, to be an A student, you must be able to see well. And have you made that, have you checked? Do you know that your child has excellent vision? So it's so important.
Educators Selma King and Wayne Thompson say they now have an eye out for sight problems among the students. They say the seminar was indeed an eye-opener.
Now that I'm even more aware of eye disease and eye inflammation and eye complications, I now can even help my students in terms of getting them into her office so that they can be examined to prevent any further eye diseases or eye infractions that they might have.
It's something that is needed, and especially the eyes, because our students, they use the eyes, and the eyes help you to learn, and it also reflects your mood, it reflects how healthy you are, and the information that we received this morning help us to be more knowledgeable, even to assist our parents.
Principal Ivan Butler says the seminar should be taken to other schools in the district.
Most definitely, and the presentations made us aware, gave us some warning signs that we are now conscious of, some signs that we can look forward to identifying some of the problems with our students. And so, it also made us aware of some of our equipment as it relates to sports. Moving into the new school year, we know we have to make some adjustments in terms of preparing our kids to prevent injury. And so overall, we were very, very much impressed with the entire presentation.
Natalie Martinborough, ZNS Network News.
And that's a look at news, but don't go away. Sports is up next with Ricardo Lightborn.
Hey everybody, it's time for Sports and Ricardo Lightman. This one goes out to the folks down there in Cat Island who are having themselves a great time. Well, the YMCA Commercial Basketball League completing the first round of its playoff last night. Who moves on? Who went home? Let's find out. 64-61, the Grand Lucine Warriors up on the Stackers. The Warriors played a smart game and they can hold on to this game with just ticks on the clock. Container port ball now. The inbound pass. The Stackers needs a tray for the OT. That would not be the case. The Warriors went on to win this one. Irvin Lewis had 14, Jabal Lightborn 11, Jamal Hall with 10 points. They are still alive. The Walco Oilers and the Granville Power Shockers followed, and this one opened with flavor. The Shockers, knowing the situation, played percentage basketball. Here comes the Oilers. The pass to Tomasio Dames for the easy deuce. Tomasio with the rock here, hard move to the hoop. Ashton Lewis came to play, and the Shockers point guard simply in traffic. DeJohn Wildgoose can shoot the rock, and this one is from Settler's Way. The momentum started then to shift. Clemente Martin with the soft touch and working on a 25-point ball game. DeJohn Wildgoose finished the game hot, folks, 20 points. The Shockers' Travis Wildgoose, not impressed, showed that he too can shoot the rock. Walco Oilers, D'Amico Davis netted 10 points and KJ Smith with 12 in this one. The Oilers won 95-64, and the players got their feet wet. Coach Barrett Clark and Clemente Martin said it was a team effort.
Coming into the playoffs, we was first seed. So we had Freeport Power, which is the 8th seed, but they played pretty tough. They have plenty hard. So we gave them game 2. So it was a do or die tonight. So we said we'll go give it all we got and we go pretty hard. So we started out inside, and then we started once we was up pretty comfortable, then we started shooting.
Right now the guys are playing very well. We have to step it up a little more on defense. We had a few mental breakdowns on defense. I would allow them to stay in the first quarter. And once we talked it over with the team, we were able to execute and come out with the victory.
The Polymers Pistons and Stadol played the feature game, another doozy of a game. Stephen Jones played with heart and had 27 big points. Stadol played team ball. Marco Cooper scoring 17 and Amato Hepburn with 16. Stadol advanced to the semifinals with an 80-77 win, and they are looking pretty good. Stadol will now face the Walco Oilers in the semifinals. Jay says, let's rock for Polymers. It's been a good season, and now they're on the sideline with a pretty good view. Now, the Abaco Church League also completed their championship program, and here's what happened. As far as the Abaco Central High, they defeated the Zion Baptist Knight 17-9 in the 13 Division Finals. In the 15 Finals, it was Youth in Action defeating Abaco Central High 14-13. Abaco Central won the 1900 Division with a 22-19 rout of Zion Knight, and Change Ministries won the Open Division, cooling off Youth in Action and get the score 40-18. Now, as far as softball that was also played in Abaco, we can tell you that they pretty good games. The Grand Bahama Softball Association over there at the Murphytown Ballpark. The ladies play Port Side Flyers, closing out Abaco Grocery Diamond Dolls 12-2, and Mr. Lockhart got the win. And guess what? The loss went to Rhonda Penn Eldon. As far as the Port Side Flyers, they also defeated the Diamond Dolls 15-0. And Tony Cooper got the win there, and Janice Roberts the loss. As far as men is concerned, it was Control Chemical Sweepers also winning with a good win over DNR Sluggers 8-5. Quentin Cooper got the win there as well, and Thomas Blanks Kelly issued the loss. Creative Bulldogs also over Control Chemicals 7-1. Lyle Big Boy Sweat plays well, and Daniel Cox also getting the win as well. Also, Tyler Josie Wells got the win there as the Creative Bulldogs also defeated 1-0 over Control Chemicals, and Simple Solution also defeated them as well. That's the way softball goes. They also had some fun over there in Habaco. And that's it. And for Cat Island, you guys do well down there. I'm coming down there in about 2 weeks only for cassava. That's it.